I love my.
We should do our acapella jams we practiced on tour.
What are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about.
I don't know.
Go for it,
dude.
Go for it.
Eagles.
Seven Bridges Road.
Oh.
Okay, then we'll do the other Eagles song that we did.
I
don't know the lyrics to Seven Bridges Road.
I went from Phoenix to
Arizona all the way to Tacoma, Philadelphia, Atlanta, LA. Northern California where the girls are more baby, yeah.
That's Steve Miller.
Yeah, I don't know what you were saying.
Dude, that's what Andrew was like, yeah. Anyways.
Dude, yeah.
The last album took us a grand total of like forever. And this one,
according to my calculations, it took forever.
And then this one was just kind of like, it was so much fun. Just like, the last one was almost kind of like we were like dealing with like a computer the whole time. Like, oh, this is Matt's like drums that you're playing with. But like that one, our last recording was like, oh, you're in the room with Matt, playing with Matt. Like, you're all together. This is like you guys live, pretty much.
Yeah. The first album we did, we tracked it one by one, and it was all kind of digital. We just plugged into the system, and we did it 100 times over and over and over to get the exact perfect take. And I think there's nothing wrong about making sure you're all in time or whatever and like playing good, but it just kind of loses the human aspect of it if everything's perfect. And I still think Leo Valentino was good. Like, I'm still proud of it, but it's definitely not. It doesn't really sound as much like us because it's so refined and so perfect, and nobody's actually perfect, and music shouldn't be perfect, and it took the atmosphere and emotion kind of out of it, we think. So this next one, we just had the idea, like, let's do a live recording, all of us play together, go in the room, bust some stuff out, and just like a live show, pretty much.
My favorite song on Seasick has got to be Peanut Butter. I remember when we wrote Peanut Butter, Luke wrote Peanut Butter, and we were playing in Pueblo the day that he showed it to us, and we had a 5-hour set in Pueblo. We had to play forever in the hot Mexican sun. And I remember Luke was like, dude, let's just like, I'm just gonna play the chords to this and you guys just like jam along to it. And so that is how like I came up with the bass part for that. That's how Matt came up with like his drums for that. That's how we came up with all the parts for that. And I remember just like, I love that song. I think that's a great song, and it came about in a pretty odd way, but it's a groovy song.
Seasick, hands down. I love it. I don't know why it just gets to me, and it's got a, for those of you that, you know, I won't spoil what it's about, but it's a very emotional song for all of us in the band, and so every time I play to it, it just really gets me, and every time I listen to it, it just really gets me, so I can connect to it on like a really deep level, so that's why it's my favorite song, and it's fun. It's cool drum parts, that's always a bonus.
think the river's really cool because it's just really different for us. It wasn't most of the songs I write in just like my room, based on something I had stewing in my brain for a while. But this was kind of a new thing where we were able to just be in the studio, and Matt was just playing around, and our producer Greg was like, "Hey, dudes, like, make a song out of that. Just like, let's just lay it down right now." So we kind of, Boston grabbed some weird big African instrument, I forgot what it was called, and we just kind of all did something foreign to us, except I just had a guitar, but and we just kind of sat down right there. I just came up with some lyrics just that were currently on my mind being with the band, and we just did it in one take. Had never really practiced or thought about what we were gonna do, and it ended up being really cool. So that's probably why I like the river. But also, I don't know, all the songs have a pretty strong emotional attachment to me, so like they all relate to my life because I guess that's why I wrote them, but they all just mean a lot to me, so.
Either the river or 9 Degrees, because they are different than our normal sound, and probably because they were the most fun to record. So, yeah.
So I write all the snare parts of the song.
I do floor tom mainly. I dabble in jam block, but mainly floor tom.
I actually don't write any of the drums.
Yeah, Matt kind of writes the melody of
I write
the
the
rhythm
lyrics.
Yeah.
So how I write the music is I kind of lay down on my bathroom floor, pour hot wax on my body, and whatever note I scream out, I base the song on that. That's how it works. It's kind of cool, actually.
Pretty fine tonight, I say it was.
Once we graduated, it was like, these are some of my closest friends, and I'm not really gonna get much more of a chance to see them that often. So me and my friend Ethan were like, hey, let's follow them on tour. It kind of started as a joke, but then it was like, let's actually do it. So yeah, that's kind of how that started, and we just followed them halfway across the country.
So pre-show with TJ. TJ, what are you excited for about the show?
Standing outside.
Standing outside. Why do you have to stand outside?
Because it's 21 plus.
21 plus. All right. So what?
I'm an official, unofficial member.
Unofficial, official member. Okay.
Convince the guy that he was an official member.
Right. So TJ and Ethan are gonna sit this one out. All right. We'll move right to Boston.
So we're really bummed about them not being able to get into the show.
But also, it's super relieving.
We're trying to convince the guy that they were like an essential part of the act.
Which we are. We burn incense.
Yeah. So what they do is they burn incense and they blow bubbles. Stage 1 is incense. Stage 2 is blowing bubbles.
See, but here's the thing.
But we couldn't explain that to the guy. We couldn't
We're
explain
building
it to him.
this up. If the show is crazy, they might have been doing push-ups and eating glass.
Which would be stage 3.
Stage 3. All right.
So he was like, so what exactly do they do on stage? And we can't just say those things. So Andrew's all like, he's Is that like?
They work with incense.
Just like they do visual performance. We do a lot of stuff with incense and kind of like ritual kind of vibing stuff. And he just didn't really buy it.
We got here sitting with the Garkow baseball tee, Ethan Gauze. How are you doing, Mark?
I'm having a rip.
He's having a rip, all right.
Oh, and whenever you guys watch this, you're beautiful.
We were playing a charity fundraiser thing with this other band, and it ended up being one of the worst shows ever, but thankfully we had TJ there with us. Luke's foot pedal fell apart. TJ, while we were still playing, put it back together for us. We didn't ask him to or anything. He just fixed it for us, and then that's when we knew that like TJ was always the guy that we wanted to go on tour with us, you know? And we're like, oh, that'd be so cool, and he actually did go on tour with us, which was awesome. And so that ended up being a horrible show. I remember just thinking to myself, like, I want to stop playing right now. I remember we were playing All Along the Watchtower. Luke's guitar wasn't working. Andrew broke a string. Andrew was singing the vocals for some reason, running around in the crowd. So it was just Matt and I playing bass and drums. I was just about to stop playing, just give up right there. It was that bad of a show. And I remember in the green room afterwards, we're all just like laying on couches, just like super like depressed, like none of us were talking. And then I remember like it was yesterday. Luke slowly like walked up to the middle of the room and he like set down his phone, and then he started playing this Hall & Oates song. And I'm like, what a good you do. And he just started like lip syncing to it and like dancing around, and it was just like, it just like made our day. Like it just like turned the whole thing around. And I remember like, honestly, that was like, I knew that we could like do something great with our band if we'd just gone through the worst thing ever, and like we weren't, like we were still able to turn it around. Like we're still friends, we're still like, it was just something special right there. And that was honestly the most memorable show we've ever had, I think.
The worst part of tour, I'm gonna say, was not being able to do our laundry some days, because we would go swimming in the ocean and then we would just pile all of our wet clothes into one bag, and then they would get all gross and mildewy, and then we would all smell bad, and then we wouldn't have anywhere to wash them for a while. So I think that was the worst part of tour. And other than that, like, I mean, there were parts of tour that were rough. Like, sometimes it was hard to sleep on the ground in a tent, but really it's just like, I feel like all of us just kind of took it how we got it. We didn't really go into much with much expectation, so I mean, there wasn't any really like bad parts of tour. I mean,
we'd end up finishing up our shows at probably like around like midnight, get loaded up, a lot of unloading and loading, end up getting home at around 2, and then waking up at around like 7 to drive to the next place, just day after day. And so anytime we had a free day, it was just like a miracle, and we were all super happy and rejuvenated from that.
You gotta get like right in front of me.
You gotta get. Hide behind the desk.
This is where we break something in our band documentary, by the way. Right here. Oh, that was bad.
Guys, you gotta get it right. You gotta get right here.
Okay.
Oh shit! Let's do it again.
Alright.
I wanna try.
That last night was just like a testosterone explosion.
It was like,
so ready to
it was
get
like that
on,
whole
bro.
Yeah.
Lubbock was like, okay, this is fun, but also really boring, and it was just all our pent up innards just coming out in the manly mess of punching and bats one night.
We're sorry to Lubbock Christian University
For vandalizing your campus.
And getting toilet paper in your trees.
oops.
From Garkow.
We unintentionally TP'd your vicinity.
Thanks for the $1,000.
But also thank you for the gig, that was amazing.
And the money.
And the Red Lobster gift card that
which
we lost.
we lost.
So, if you wanted to send us another one,
That'd be great.
It'd be open.
We're sorry that your check writing lady died.
Oh.
Oh no. Oh no. I was not ready for that. Here we go again. We're going.
Tell the story about the go-karts in Lubbock and
Okay.
you.
So Andrew hates being famous, first of all.
I hate being famous, so
We're so famous.
I was doing a very good job of pretending to not be in the band. So we were getting on a ride. I believe it was bumper carts, and everybody in the band was getting on the ride. But then it was me and David Testa who were at the back of the line.
He sang Cake with us at Lubbock. He's awesome.
Anyway, we were in line, and so everyone gets on the ride, but then the guy's like, whoa, ride's full. So me and David just sitting there watching everyone else on the ride. So we're just standing there watching everyone on the ride. These two little girls come up and standing next to us. They're like, whoa, is that the band on that ride right there? I was like, whoa, it totally is. I was like, look, and they're like, yeah, you can see the drummer and the guitarist. What are they doing out there? I was like, yeah, this is crazy. I need to get out of here.
But also, all these kids wanted to take pictures of us, with us on the campus.
They'd run up to us like, oh, can I get a picture with you guys?
And Andrew would always be like,
someone's got to take the picture.
he's like, yeah, I'll take it. And he just wouldn't be in any of the pictures.
Someone's got to take the picture.
The worst part about tour was Kennewick, Washington. It was very boring. Washington itself was super beautiful on the coast, and you're like, oh, this is great. It's like Colorado, but with an ocean. Drive east and south, and it was terrible. It was just yellow and boring, and I don't know. There's nothing to do, and our show there was probably our worst show. It was at a salsa dancing place, and there was salsa dancing going on after we were supposed to be done playing. But the guy who was doing our sound didn't get there in time, and everything was just really unstructured. And he's like, yeah, you can play 5 more songs or something. And then he came up to us a minute later. He's like, you know what, these people just want to salsa dance. Let's wrap this up. And we're like, okay. So Kennewick, Washington was probably the worst part.
I'd say the worst part was just when it got to the points that we were arguing over nothing, because I was definitely the worst. I definitely just brought up literally the smallest things and would argue over them. So I was definitely the worst in that regard, but that was probably the worst part of it.
I thought that they would really enjoy it, but they'd also end up really butting heads a lot because they're crazy people. I thought they'd have a lot of fun, but I also thought that it would be tough for them just to make all of it work because they don't plan a whole lot.
Hey, so we're in Washington. What are you looking forward to? It's your birthday. Happy birthday.
We get there. Immediately, I put on my birthday outfit I brought. So it's this...
It's
not his birthday suit.
Outfit. I purposefully worded it
Totally
like that.
different, yeah.
It was a red velvet button-up shirt. Actually red velvet. Nice. I kept it unbuttoned pretty low.
Unfortunately, he did not have a gold medallion.
No.
We were trying to find one.
And that was pretty much it. Other than just normal clothes down here. Walked around. We got this hotel room.
Oh my goodness.
With
First of all, we gotta tell him. We were like, oh man, we want to treat Luke so good on this birthday. we looked up the nicest hotel place in the entire town. We walked in, it was so nice. They were like, we'll find you guys another place to stay.
Yeah, they
just
didn't-
for teenagers.
They did not want us there.
Even with Luke in his fancy birthday outfit, we didn't like.
But it worked out for the best, because that place kind of was a little weird. We get this, like, I don't know what it was even, like a
hotel.
It was like a suite.
It was like a suite.
Hotel Holiday Inn.
No, it was like a suite, and we had this balcony with a jacuzzi that overhung the water.
There'll be a video of it.
So it just looked out over this beautiful water with all these big boats and the jacuzzi. So
The Puget Sound.
we had brought in 4 of the finest cigars for my birthday. Bought a whole bottle of bubble bath and some Martinellis. And after our show, we went out there, sat in the jacuzzi with an entire thing of bubble bath in there. It was a lot of bubbles, a lot of cigars,
To start that
a
out,
lot of drink.
when we were filling that up, and they poured all the bubble bath in there.
It wasn't doing jack
It
squat.
wasn't doing anything. So the tub was filling up. We turn on the jets. The bubbles got at least a foot higher than the water level.
More than that.
And you'll see in the
some
video
parts.
that we can barely see any of it. Like, it's...
And then the next aspect of this is that the jacuzzi is really only made for about 2 people, maybe one,
Maybe one big person.
maybe one big person,
Maybe one like 7,000 pound person.
which we talked about. But there were 4 of us in there.
It's really smoky.
footage right in my crotch.
Sorry.
It's probably mine.
Dude, Andrew,
Yeah,
you gotta
bro.
take some pictures.
Okay.
You can savor this moment forever.
It was not as comfortable as one.
Disclaimer: we were in our swim trunks.
That's true.
Disclaimer, it was still like my favorite night of tour. It was so great.
Disclaimer: it's hard to open up a bottle of Martinelli's.
So we didn't have a bottle opener. And we're like, how do we get these open? Boston's like, alright guys, I won't make any, you get out of the hot tub, I got this. Brings it out, you can tell the story.
So we cannot find a bottle opener. We cannot find anything to use as a bottle opener. I don't tell any of the guys this. I'm like, guys, I'll handle it. Don't worry about it. I just go out into the parking lot, shut the door behind me, which I will talk about later. Smash the bottle. Get a little bit of it in the cup still. A cup's worth for the birthday boy.
Keep it with you the whole time.
I carried it with me. I had shut the door behind me and locked it. They're all outside in the bubble bath on the other side of the entire suite. So I proceeded to climb over other people's decks and suites to finally make it to theirs, carrying this shard of glass
with like 2 teaspoons of drink, and not even.
Martinelli.
Had there had been footage of Boston, it probably would have been like a parkour video or something.
Yeah. And he's like, I saved this just for the birthday boy. Pours it in the glass, and it's just full of broken glass.
And then we found something to open up the bottle, and we wasted an entire bottle of Martinelli's. But
so that's that.
It was okay.
It was a great night. It was a great night.
Sleep.
I didn't sleep at all.
It was funny during our first car rides. It was like, "Hey, do you guys want to learn how to play like a fun like road trip game?" And it was like, "No." So then we just slept.
We ate.
Yeah, I questioned a lot about my life in that time.
A lot of time to think.
Definitely thank you to everyone who housed us and fed us. Honestly, the trip wouldn't have been possible at all without all the families, all the friends, all the people we got to meet. Seriously, the gas money, the food. We met so many random people on the road who heard us talking while we were eating about being in a band, and they said, "Oh, I'll pay for your food." So we're like, "Oh my gosh, like we don't even know you, we just want to pay for our food." So we may not ever like see those people again, but if I could, say thank you again, that's who I would want to thank, as well as all the people who went out of their way to make this trip possible. Well, I want to thank them for being my best friends that I could ever have possibly imagined through the course of my entire life. I've never had one friend like all of those guys for probably as long as I've lived.
Boy, this is tough. As for like Matt and Andrew, like, it's been like one heck of like a ride, like it's kind of a shame that like, we're going our separate ways, but like I want you guys to know that like we'll always remember like all the things. I mean, we're making this documentary here, like we're always gonna remember this for like our kids, and like we always talked about how we're gonna be grandpas one day, and we're gonna be able to tell these stories to like all our like grandkids and stuff. And yeah, I think you guys are awesome, and I'm gonna miss you, and Lucas too. And yeah, I mean, I hope, I don't know, I mean, I've seen like the passion in like each of you through music, and I hope that like you never let that go, even though you're like not in the band anymore, and I think that's really important, that we've almost kind of like found this, I guess, this passion, and we found it, and we've kind of gone as far as we can with it, and I think that that's something that's worth holding on to. And so I hope to see that in you guys, and like, since how we're going our separate ways, I can hear them laughing in there, I'm like about to cry. We're going our separate ways, and I don't want that's coming between you and like music, that's always going to be a part of you guys, and I think that's really cool. And as for Luke, I'll see you in Nashville, I suppose. Yeah. I just wanna tell you how I'm feeling. Gonna understand. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna tell a lie. It hurts you.
Well, I'm looking forward to playing music with Boston in Nashville in the future, and I think it's just gonna be a whole new thing and super fun and awesome. But I'm also really sad that for now we have to say goodbye to those two dudes, Andrew and Matt, and I guess I should clarify who they are, because I don't know, it's weird, because these guys are actually like my brothers, and I probably annoy the hell out of them a lot, and they irritate me sometimes, but I love them more than anything really. And it's not even that like I love them, it's just kind of like they're part of who I am, and it's not like an object like, oh, I love that. It's just like they're who I am, and they're part of my life. So it sucks saying goodbye, but I mean, it's been awesome, and you never know what'll happen in the future. And Jeff Garkow for giving us inspiration to name our band after you, and to be better people and try to help out with more worldly issues and actually make somewhat of a difference with our music that we can, because you just open our eyes to like a whole new world, I guess, of being a good person.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to the 3 guys that are sitting out there. Luke, Andrew, and Boston. I love you guys. I'm gonna try not to cry right now, but you guys are thanks for letting me in the band freshman year, and we've made a lot of good memories, and tour I think was the best way to end our high school times, and I seriously might cry, and I just Luke and Boston, I wish you guys the best in Nashville, and I just hope that Garkow stays alive, and because I love you guys. I didn't cry, but I got close. And then just a shout out to all of our fans out there for supporting us, and for all of the people that came to our shows, and for being the 2 people that were there at our shows half the time, and thanks to all of our parents for just being so supportive and trusting us and helping us and packing food for us and just believing in us, and yeah, thanks.
Yeah, Matt! Woo! And I like dinosaurs. These are my friends, and they like dinosaurs. You are also my friends. Do you like dinosaurs? Dinosaur! Sorry. That was too far again. Sorry about that.
My name's Luke Kretzky. I sing and play guitar, and Maggie thinks I'm stupid.
My name is Andrew Castaneri. I play.
Stop right there.
Cut. Restart. My name is Andrew Castaneri. I play rhythm guitar, and I like fighter jets.
My name is Boston. I play the bass. My friends, I don't have anything.
My name is Matt. I play the drums, and we on a bed.
This is my bed.
We on Andrew's bed.
Dinosaurs, dinosaurs, they are living dinosaurs.
You want me to record it in pieces?
Scratch that off the fucking list.
That's like more than the whole pack of Dutch.
My heroes down, hanging by